Why, hello. I didn't see you there. It's chilly weather we're having outside, with all that snow coming down. But did you know it's not only beautiful, but it's also vitally important in all our lives? Let me explain. When snow falls during the wintertime, it creates snowpack. What is snowpack? Well, it is simply what it sounds like, layers of snow that have been packed down together during the winter season. Yet it holds a much greater purpose to us. Let's look specifically at the small town of Alamosa, Colorado. In the springtime, the snowpack begins melting, accumulating into rivers and streams that are then used as a main water source for this small city. It is then used in everyday life such as drinking water, tap water, watering systems used by homes, golf courses, and in greenhouses. It is also very important for maintaining the agriculture in this area. Professor Sayers in the Department of Geography at the University of Colorado Boulder clarifies on this topic quite well. Let's turn some time over to him.
Well, I think all I would like to emphasize is how important that winter snow is for Colorado. Because if you look at something like agriculture, okay, 80% of that snow that melts, that we use and we catch in our reservoirs, goes into agriculture. Without that winter snow, we wouldn't have agriculture that much in Colorado. Sure, out in the eastern plains, they use groundwater, but here along the Front Range, we're very, very dependent on that snow.
In Alamosa, when the snowpack begins to melt, the majority of the runoff finds its way into the Rio Grande. The Rio Grande, being the major river that flows through this area, supplies water to the majority of the households and to the farms. As Dr. Sarah stated, farmers in this area use as much as 80% of all the snowpack to maintain their farms. Farmers are very dependent on the snowpack to provide them with enough water to maintain their cattle and horses and for their crops in the summertime. The majority of the precipitation that takes place in this area is up in the outlying mountains, so in the winter, this is where the majority of the snowpack is located. After all the snow that has been deposited begins to melt, it begins to form streams that go down the mountain into the valley, which is then distributed throughout the city. But what would happen if Alamosa experienced a shortage of snowpack? Dr. Sayers is able to answer this question.
Oh, well, the fact it's a lack of a snowpack Haven Valley, well, again, it comes back to water resources. As you may know, in Colorado, there's a very, very complex system of water rights that have been set up, where the more senior users get to use the water. And so what I'm talking about is water rights, say, in terms of agriculture, so you can flood your fields to grow corn or to grow beets or soybeans or whatever you're trying to grow. In a good year, when there's a good mountain snowpack, most users or most people who need the water will get it for their use. But the problems come during drought conditions or periods with very little snow, in that some of what we call the more junior water users will lose their rights, and so they won't have that water to irrigate. So this is a big problem, of course, that we're running up against now, is that we've got a growing need for water, okay, and a growing need for that water use, but there's only so much of it up there. And how do you fairly allocate that between the many different users? Okay, you've got the farmers out there who need to irrigate their fields, okay, but for example, if you take all the water out of the streams, and the fish die in the streams. So you've got to be balancing all these different uses and all these different needs against each other, and it becomes a very, very difficult problem during times of drought like we've experienced in the past.
Alamosa consists of approximately 7% of farmers, yet this contributes to about 40% being farmland and about 320 farms in the area, according to the research done by Western Rural Development Center. Agriculture has been one of the major professions that created Alamosa back in the 1800s, when new immigrants arrived and took advantage of the rich soil available. Without the water that comes from snowpack runoff, Alamosa never would have been able to thrive as a city. That is why snowpack is so important in Alamosa. Thank you so much for watching, and we would like to give a special thanks to Dr. Serres for helping us out so much. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.